Okay, so we're living in a world that is just flooded with AI. It's everywhere. And that brings up a huge question. How do you know what's real anymore? Well, that's what we're going to tackle. This is your survival guide for telling digital fact from fiction. And you know what? It's way easier than you might think. Let's dive in.
All right, first things first, let's warm up those critical thinking muscles. We're going to start with a question that seems simple on the surface, but is getting unbelievably tricky to answer these days.
So take a look at this. It's a cat, right? And it's doing this absolutely perfect Olympic-level dive. Now, what's your gut screaming at you right now? Everything you know about cats, especially their strong opinions about water, is probably telling you, no way, that's fake. And you'd be right. That little voice, that intuition, that's your first and best line of defense. Okay, how about this one? This is a website, and it looks pretty legit. It's all about saving the endangered Pacific Northwest tree octopus. It's got photos, it's got scientific-sounding language, the whole shebang. But it's a total hoax, a classic of the early internet, actually. It's a perfect example of how slick packaging can make something completely false feel incredibly real. So we've seen just how easily our eyes can be tricked. But to really get a handle on this, we need to go a little deeper and understand why AI gets things so wrong in the first place. Let's kind of peek inside the AI's brain.
The whole problem really boils down to this one kind of weird-sounding term, an AI hallucination. This is what happens when an AI just makes something up. It spits out completely false information, but it says it with all the confidence of a college professor. Now, it's not lying like a person would, it's just built to give an answer that sounds good and makes sense grammatically, not one that's actually true.
And that's the key thing to remember. AI is basically a prediction machine on steroids. It has been fed a giant chunk of the internet, and its one and only job is to figure out the most likely next word in a sentence. It's a pattern matcher, not a fact checker. And understanding that difference, well, that's everything. So, if the AI is just a confident guesser, how do we deal with that? How do we build up our defenses? Well, I'm going to give you a really simple, super memorable toolkit that you can use every single time you see something that makes you go, It's just 3 steps. That's it. First, the most important one, just stop. Take a breath before you react, before you share, before you believe. Second, investigate. Ask yourself, who's behind this? What do they want from me? And third, cross-check. This is where you really take back control and build your confidence in what's real. Let's really drill down on that third step, cross-check, because this is your superpower. The goal here is simple. If you see a big claim, you need to find it in at least 2 or 3 other places you trust. We're talking about official government sites ending in .gov, university sites ending in .edu, well-known research groups, or reputable fact-checking organizations. If you can't find it anywhere else, that is a huge red flag. Okay, we've handled text, we've handled images, but now let's up the stakes. Let's take our new toolkit and apply it to one of the most unsettling new threats out there: AI voice clones and deepfake scams. You know, it is genuinely shocking how easy this has become. A scammer can grab just a few seconds of your voice from, say, a video you posted on social media. And with that tiny clip, they can use cheap software to clone it. And suddenly, they can call your family and it sounds exactly like you. Or they can call you and it sounds just like your bank.
But here's the fascinating part. There are clues. A real person, when they talk, they stumble. They say they pause, they breathe. An AI voice is often, well, it's too perfect. It has this weirdly smooth, robotic rhythm. It doesn't handle interruptions well at all, and it usually tries to create this fake, mechanical sense of urgency. That near perfection is actually the biggest giveaway.
This all leads to the single most powerful thing you can do. It's called the disconnect and check rule, and it's dead simple. Just hang up. Seriously, end the call. Don't argue, don't engage. Then go to the official app or website for your bank or whoever supposedly called. See if there's a real alert there. If you have to call them back, you find the number on their official site. You take control.
So after all of this, what's the big idea? What's the major takeaway? It's that while this technology is getting incredibly powerful, you are still the most important piece of the puzzle. You are the ultimate safeguard. In the world of AI safety, there's a really important concept called human in the loop. All it means is that for any decision that really matters, a person has to be the one to make the final call. That's you. The AI is just a tool, a really powerful one, for sure. But your judgment, your critical thinking skills, and your ability to just ask, hey, does this feel right? Those are the best security features we've got. And this quote right here, it just says it all perfectly. This isn't about being afraid of new technology. It's about feeling empowered because you understand it. Every single time you use those verification steps, you become a harder target. You become a smarter digital citizen.
So in the end, AI is here. It's not going anywhere. And like any tool, it can be used for incredible good or for some pretty alarming things. So the real question isn't about what the AI is going to do next. It's about what we are going to do with it. How will you choose to use it, and how will you make sure that you're always the one in control?